It's mailbag time here on the Chiefs Report. I'm Harrison Graham. Load up those questions by using the hashtag Chiefs function or by super chatting. We'll get to as many of your questions as we possibly can. Corey Wilkinson, should the Chiefs go for a backup quarterback? Kind of think they already did with Blaine Gabbert. They also have Shane Buechele, so Chris Olodokun is kind of like the project quarterback on the roster. You got four guys. I don't think they're going to bring in another one. I think the proof of that was, A, they didn't draft one or sign an undrafted free agent. I think they're set at quarterback with Mahomes, Gabbert, Buechele, and Olodokun. Kelce in France, do you think Rashee Rice will be a future star player? FR stands for real. I've always said France, but you are for real, Kelce. It's hard to project if someone will be a star. I think, Patrick Mahomes obviously meshed with him in the offseason. He was a star in college. Now, some people are concerned about, at times he struggles to separate, but strong hands can win in one-on-ones. If he can build up that chemistry with Mahomes, I think he's got a chance to be really good. I think he could be like a peak Allen Robinson type of player. Terry Singleton, did you see where DeAndre Hopkins says he didn't want to leave the Cards? Yeah, he said today, he's back in Arizona. He said, who said I wanted to leave? I never said that. I think he was very open to leaving, and just because the trade didn't materialize, it's easy for him to say that after. I'm not saying he was begging to get out of there, but you're telling me that he wasn't open to becoming a Chief or a Bill or someone else. I mean, he did that podcast where the guy listed some names, and he kind of reacted to where he'd want to go, and he made it pretty clear that Kansas City or Buffalo are two teams he'd like to go to. So, it sounds like he's going to stay in Arizona for now. We'll see how that all plays out. Maybe it's a mid-season trade for a team. Will the Chiefs trade for DeAndre Hopkins? What do you guys think? Type Y for yes, type in for no. This will be the pinned comment on today's video. So if that YouTube ad break comes, go ahead and reply with a Y for yes or an N for no. Lennon Ackerman, what's the percentage we go back-to-back Super Bowl wins? I mean, it's still pretty low, right? I mean, there's 32 teams. It's not like I'm going to sit here and be like, yeah, they have a 40% chance of winning the Super Bowl. It's probably it's probably 10%. That's still pretty damn high, though. I mean, I still think they're the favorites. Philadelphia had a great draft, so obviously they're looking to bounce back and get back there in the NFC. AFC is tougher to navigate right now, so we'll see. We'll see. They'll definitely be right there in the mix to have a chance. Logan Owens, Kelce spiked the Super Bowl trophy. Yeah, I need to go back and look at that. I saw some tweets and some clips about it, but need to look closer into that one. But, hey, if you keep catching 100 balls a year, Trav, that's all good. Shad Jameson, in your opinion, who are the 5 or 6 wide receivers that will make this team? Well, I think we got the wide receiver depth chart, so we can flash that real quick right here. Let's just hypothetically say that they're going to keep 6 receivers. I would say those top 4 are locks. Richie James, Justin Watson on the bubble, along with Justin Ross is the wild card. I don't think John Ross will make the team. Amir Smith-Marset is on the bubble as well. I know the Chiefs do like him. I think he could have a chance. I would guess James and Watson would be 5 and 6 right now, but what if Justin Ross tears it up? I mean, he's got a lot of talent, so we'll have to wait and see. Watson plays a role on special teams, so he could be safer than a guy like Richie James, who they brought in. They're familiar with Watson. Mahomes likes him, so it's going to be competitive after these top 4 guys. Marcus Prince, when do you think the schedule will be released? Well, I don't have to think. We know now. It's going to be next Thursday, May 11th. Subscribe. We will break that down as soon as the schedule drops. So don't miss that here on the Chiefs Report or any of our other videos here on the channel. We go live every Monday for these shows where we answer your questions. But schedule release next Thursday, May 11th. We'll have a full video breakdown, so be on the lookout. Turn on your notifications. That way you never miss any episode of the Chiefs Report, especially the schedule release episode, which will drop next Thursday. I'm DeBrad. How much cap space do the Chiefs have for free agents? I want to say they've got like $5 to $10 million to work with right now. They don't have a ton, but they could still move some money around. Spotrac says 4.68, and you got to pay your draft class, which that'll probably eat up most of that. But between guys they could cut, etc., they could definitely go out and get a player or two if they wanted to. They could restructure a couple of contracts. So if they want to make that happen, they definitely can. Joe Fazio, seems like the Chiefs are really focused on defensive players that could get after the quarterback for next season. Most of them had a lot of sacks despite any weaknesses. Thoughts? Yeah, I mean, you get Charles Omenihu, who's got some pass rushing ability. Felix Anudike-Uzomah, almost 20 sacks the past few years in college. So, yeah, I mean, I think getting after the quarterback. B.J. Thompson's kind of a project out of Stephen F. Austin, so we'll see what he's able to bring to the table. Keandre Coburn, more of a run stopper. I still think there's room for one more pass rusher in free agency if you really want to go that route, so we'll obviously monitor that. William Randolph, should we be looking for a tight end? I don't really think you need one. I was intrigued by this draft class, but they opted not to draft one. It was one of those things where I was like, I'd like to add one. I don't think you need one. But eventually, I would like to see this team get a high-level tight end, potentially groomed to be the Kelce replacement. I don't think any of the tight ends the Chiefs have behind Kelce are viewed as future high-level starters. Like Noah Gray is a nice rotation tight end. Blake Bell has played his role over the years. Jody Fortson has big upside, but he's had some injuries. So, I think it's a good tight end room for now, but I definitely would have been interested in adding another one. If you do want to add one more, Cam Brate is kind of the one free agent I'm intrigued by, but other than that, I think you have a good enough room for this year. Logan Owens, do you like Will Levis? No, because he puts mayonnaise in his coffee, and that is absolutely disgusting. Fraud alert. The Titans are going to be in a bad place with Will Levis. Now, I don't know. I mean, he's got talent. He wasn't my favorite prospect coming out, but, we'll see how it works for Tennessee. Probably worth the gamble in the second round, but he's no Mahomes. I think we all know that. Buyer's remorse. Name a player you wish the Chiefs would have drafted. Drop his name in the comments. I'll tell you what, Myles Murphy went 28 to the Bengals. I definitely would have been open to trading up and getting him before Cincinnati did. I had him higher on my board than Anudike-Uzomah. I like Felix. I think he'll be good. But when Murphy started to slide, I was like, maybe going up to draft him would be interesting. But it is what it is. Drop a name that you guys would have liked to get. Got time for a few more. Shad Jameson here. Both Humphrey and Smith are due for extensions after next season. Can Kansas City afford to keep this O-line together? I think they can work it out with both Humphrey and Smith because Joe Thuney has a couple years left on his deal, and by then he's a little bit older. Maybe you move on from him, keep Humphrey and Smith, two young ascending players, and then just fill that guard spot elsewhere. Maybe Allegretti becomes a starter down the road. Maybe a guy like Darian Kennard can be your left guard. So we'll have to wait and see. I'm not saying kick Joe Thuney to the curb. He's a great guard, but if you want to keep Humphrey and Smith and can't pay everybody, at that point you could cut or trade Joe Thuney. ACO T-Mac, what would be your starting running backs and receivers? Well, Pacheco, RB1, McKinnon, RB2, wide receivers. I think right now my top three would be Tony, MVS, and Sky Moore, but Rashee Rice is certainly going to be in the mix and try to factor in there. So that's where I'm sitting at the skill spots right now. LBK, thanks to you and your team for what you guys do, bringing us all the latest and greatest news about the Chiefs. Listen, you guys are the reason we do it. We have fun doing it, and, the more subscribers we get, the more times you guys like the video, comment, and support the movement, we're able to do more content. So appreciate your guys' support and tuning in every week.